So is my slide visible to all of you? Okay, nice. Very nice. So I welcome all of you to this course known as Social Networks, and this course was originally taken by Professor Sudarshan Iyengar, Professor and Head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering of IIT Ropar. Myself, Ayan Paul, I am a PMRF research scholar from IIT Kharagpur, and I am the TA of this course. Okay, so by TA, my responsibilities are I have to discuss with you questions that will be very much similar to your assignment, so that whenever you will solve the assignments you will not feel it's like completely new, etc. Okay, so that is how I have to do this. But before that, I always prefer to discuss what we have discussed in the week. Okay, so that will have a clear picture before we directly move on to the question answers. Okay, so this is regarding the course. So what is the name of this course? Social networks. Okay, so what is this social networks is? Okay, so social network is a structure consisting of nodes. Okay, someone is joining, so this issue will be there, like people will join again and again, so that issue will always be there. Okay, nice. So yeah, so social network, so it is a structure that consisting of, okay, let me minimize it, or just, yeah, it is a structure consisting of nodes. Okay, so two important things are there: nodes and edges. Okay, so nodes are also known as vertices, edges also known as links. Okay, so social network, it is a structure that you have to understand. It is a structure that consists of nodes and edges. What are nodes? These nodes are basically individuals, organization, or entities. And what are these edges? That is relationship or interaction between the two nodes. Okay, so that is nodes and edges. Okay, such as, so what is this edge represent? Such as friendship, communication, influence, or collaboration. Okay, so that is the definition of the social networks. So you can see in this, let me, yeah, in this picture you can see this is a node of friends. Okay, so that is friendship network. Okay, so friendship network, each nodes is nothing but individual, and the edges connecting between the nodes, that means individuals are connected. So this whole is known as network or a social network. Okay, and this is known as connected network. Why it is known as connected network? Because each node is connected to every other nodes, not directly but through an indirect part. Okay, so that is why it is known as connected network. So can network be unconnected or disconnected? Yes, definitely a network can be disconnected network, like this one. Okay, like here there are 25 friends in one cluster, and there are 25 friends in another cluster, but there is no connection in between this two clusters. So this type of network is known as disconnected network. So basically there are two type of network: connected network and disconnected network. Okay, connected network, each node is connected to every other node, either directly or indirectly. But disconnected nodes means two clusters can be separated and they are not connected with each other. That means a person in this cluster is not connected to person in this cluster. So that is disconnected node. But the question is, can a network be disconnected? Like this friendship network, can it be disconnected? So that is a question. So yes, practically yes, it can be disconnected, but it is highly improbable. That means, what does that suggest? Means here you can see there are 25 nodes in this side and there are 25 nodes in this side. That means 25 nodes has the opportunity to connect with every other nodes from this side. So practically there can be 625 possibilities in which the connection can happen, but the connection has not happened. That means disconnected networks are possible, but it is highly improbable. Okay, so this is regarding a brief overview of what is a social network and what is this connections and or links. Okay, so that is a brief introduction about social network. So what you again need to understand, okay, let me admit some people. Yeah, so what you need to understand is yeah, social network, there are two important things in social network. One, you have to understand nodes, that is nothing but individuals, or it can be organization or entities. And second is edges, or also known as links. Okay, so nodes also known as vertices, edges also known as or edges also known as links. So these nodes are linked with each other, so that is a social network. Okay, so this is social networks. So what does this edges represents? It represents relationship or interaction between the nodes. Okay, and what type of interaction can be? It can be friendship, communication, influence, or collaboration, any type of network. So that is known as social network. So social networks are commonly modeled as graph, which can be undirected or directed. So basically, in graph theory, we define the graphs in two ways. One is directed graph, and then one is undirected graph. So undirected is very common, like this friendship network. These are undirected, means the communication can be in both ways. Okay, that means the information can flow from this node to this node. Also, the information can flow from this node to this node. So that is why it is known as the undirected graph or undirected network. And the type of graph can be directed graph or directed network. So that means the flow of information is only in one direction, that is particularly denoted by some arrow. That means if we have two nodes like this is a node and this is a node, so the information will only flow from this direction to this direction. So that is why directed. So how it can be directed? Like follower relationship, hyperlinks. Whenever you are visiting any site, there will be hyperlinks, right? So these hyperlinks are usually directed. That means the flow of information, and you will go from one side to another side only, not from that side to the previous side, because it is hyperlinked. So that is known as directed graph. So this is basically the some of the you can say some of the key terminology of this social networks. Okay, so any doubt until this part? Okay, Shan, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, nice. So let's move on to the next thing, that is what are the challenges in social networks. So what can be the challenges of social network? One is scale and complexity. Here we have shown like only 50 friends or 25 friends. So the yeah, Tanya, any doubt?
Sir, I have written it in the chat box.
Okay. What is bias? Bias is basically error type of thing, okay? So that is known as bias.
And sir, like you have given two types of biases. What is the main difference in both of them?
Where two type of biases?
Like you have written structured bias and dynamic bias. What is the basic difference in between both of them?
Structural bias and dynamic nature, right?
Yes, sir.
Structural bias is all these things we can discuss in the coming classes, okay? Now you can only see that structural bias means, see, if your network is clustered only in one type of one topography, right? So there can be important nodes, so people will only visit that cluster only and can miss other cluster due to topography. So that is structural
Okay, sir.
bias, okay? And
Okay,
dynamic
sir.
nature, etc., we can all discuss with coming classes, etc. Everything will be discussed in the coming class. Today is just an overview, okay? So we can dig in deep what actually all these terms are, okay?
Thank you so much,
Okay.
sir.
Any other doubt
पास हो
about
देना
this point?
पास हो देना
Yeah, please accept students, okay? Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, so yeah, so what are the challenges that we should understand? What are the challenges of this social networks? So, what are the key challenges of the social networks? Okay, let me again go to my slides. Yeah. So what are the key challenges that we face in the social network? Like here you can see only a friendship network of only like 50 students or 25 students, like that. Okay, so that can be counted easily. But whenever we are talking about large social networks like Facebook, etc., there are millions of nodes and billions of edges. Okay, so that means there is high scale as well as complexity. So manual analysis is impossible. If you want to analyze manually, again people are joining, okay? So if you want to like analyze manually, that is actually very difficult. So this is the first challenge of social networks, okay? Like here you can see in the pictures, like here there are 50 nodes, okay? So in 50 nodes also you can see how many links can be there. This is the possible number of links, that is 2 raised to the power 50 c2. That means 50 c2, everybody know the c, okay? 50 c2 means combination, okay? There are two things, permutation as well as combination. So this is combination. So 2 to the power 50 c2. And when 2 to the power 50 c2 is that much number, that if we are calculating it on a simple Google calculator, it will give you infinity. That means there are so many links. So that is the first challenge, and this can be compared with the number of atoms. The number of atoms is 2 to the power 200, okay? But you can see the numbers of links in just 50, okay? I have to move this. So the number of links, okay, people are still, yeah, joining, yeah. So yeah, so number of links in just 50 nodes, it is 2 raised to the power 50 c2. That is so much. And if you compare with the number of atom, it is still very much more than this, okay? Because number of atoms in the universe, it is greater than 2 to the power 200, okay? But it is 2 to the power 50 c2 is actually like infinity. So that is high scale and complexity is one challenge. Second, too many connection, that I have just discussed. Information overload, yeah, information can be overloaded. Redundant links within communities, okay? So redundant links within community means you can consider it some kind of cluster, okay? So redundant links, that means that which are unwanted, which does not give you much flow of information from one node to another link, another nodes. So those are redundant links. So those within the communities are like it is a kind of challenge. And then difficulty identifying truly influential nodes. Okay, so we want to search which are the influential node or the important nodes. So when there are too many connections, so it is difficult in identifying truly or influential nodes. And see, there is structural bias. Popular nodes dominate visibility. So that is the thing. Or new or niche nodes struggle to gain attention, because again I have told you, due to this topography, what happens is the new or niche nodes that you want can be too difficult to find it. So that is structural bias. uh, D is dynamic nature. Network evolve over time. So that is, over time the network will again evolve and evolve. So this is not static. Like any other network, this is not static. Every day there will be new nodes, new connection, etc. So the social networks has this dynamic nature. And then links form dissolve continuously. That means link can form between two nodes anytime, and again it can dissolve anytime. So these are few of the challenges in the social networks. Okay, admit. Okay, so this is about what is the social networks and what are the key challenges regarding this social networks. Okay, so this is the thing. So let me move on to the next slide. This I have already given you for some information. What are the popular social media links? So just change this is the popular social media links. Okay, so just cut this, I will just edit it. So this is a table regarding popular social media platforms. Okay, like Facebook, that is it is launched in 2004 and it has around 3.07 billion users. Okay, so which is very much. And what it does, you can just read. WhatsApp 2009, YouTube 2005, Instagram is there 2010, TikTok 2016, we have WeChat, Telegram, Messenger, Snapchat, and other this Chinese app. Okay, Reddit is also very famous. Reddit is there. Okay, so these are the some of the social media platforms, and what it does, you can just read it. Okay, so this I have only kept for your information. Okay, now this is the next thing, that what can be done with the social networks. So that is again important. Yeah, we are studying social networks, but what can be done with it, because that is important, right? Because otherwise you will question why we should learn this social network. So first is ranking and importance, that is page rank. So concept of page rank measures the importance of nodes based on who links to them, not just how many links they have. Okay, so a node can have several links. Like this is a node, it can have several links. Okay, but page rank, it measures the importance of node based on who links to them, not just how many links they have. That means the nodes that are connected to it, if those nodes are important or not. Okay, so by that we will give ranking to the nodes, not just how many nodes one node is connecting the other nodes. Okay, so that is the concept of the page rank. Key idea: a node is important if it is linked by other important nodes. So that is the key idea behind it. Why page rank is needed? Help rank web pages, courses, users, or content. Limitation: it captures it captures popularity, not quality. Okay, so this is regarding the page rank. Okay, so this you can see, this is the friendship network, but you have to determine who is the most important person in this friendship network. Okay, so this we can solve by this page rank concept. Okay, so now it is just an introduction, so just I have given you the introduction, but as we go into the further weeks, we can dig deep regarding the topics. Okay, and then the Google industry is based on this question only, it which is the most important web page. Okay, so by this question the Google industry has started its work with which is the most important web page, and now it has been termed as a $450 billion industry. Okay, so this is regarding the first use of what can be done with social network, that is ranking importance in the network. So this is the first use. What is the second use we can have? This is the second use, that is searching in a network. Again, we have this vast network, okay, like 1 billion nodes, or like Facebook, you have seen 3.07 billion nodes, so right. Okay, people are joining. Yeah. So yeah. So searching in a network. So what is the problem? How can a message reach a target when nodes only know their neighbors? So that is the most important problem in a social network. Only the nodes know their neighbors, right? They don't know the other nodes. So how the information or message can reach the target if the nodes is far away from it? So that is the first problem. Second, global network structure is unknown. Okay, so nodes only know the local network, right? Because you can also know your friends only, right? But not a person that is far away from you. So these are the problems. So key theory, there is a small world network enables efficient search. Long range shortcut plus clustering, it reduces the part. Again, these are some theory we will read as we dig into our coming weeks. Why search can fail? High modularity, few bridges between communities, poor or missing metadata. So this is very important, because if you don't know the metadata, so again the information cannot reach. Few bridges between the communities. So usually what happens is cluster. Okay, this is the cluster, but you have to reach this cluster information to this cluster. Okay, so there should be bridges between this two cluster. So that is again an important thing while discussing this searching in our network. Then what is the next task? That is link prediction. Can we predict a friendship? Okay, people are joining. Okay, so a link prediction. Can we predict a friendship? What is the goal? Predict which pairs of nodes are likely to form a link in the future. So that is our goal. That means we have to predict like which nodes will connect to which nodes in the future. Okay, so core principle one is homophily. So similar people usually connect. Tridia closer, friends of friends become a friend. So these are the two principles based on which link prediction we do the link prediction. Common feature, number of mutual neighbors, and there are other some similarities that we will discuss in the future. Challenges, false positive due to structural bias. Again, when there is structural bias like clustering and all, there can be false positive. We can assume that within a cluster people will be too much close, or they will link in the future, but that may not happen. And then need behavioral or temporal signals. Temporal signals means signals that is affected with time, that what will happen with time. And behavioral signals means your behavior can change over time, right? So these are the challenges regarding this link prediction. Then we have this thing known as contagion in a network, very important. So what is contagion? Again, people are joining. Yeah, so what is, yeah, please.
Sir, how to use a network, or maybe how do we, inform on a network or behave on a network?
Behave on a network. No, your each node has some characteristics, like, right? So that is based on your behavior. Okay, so with those behavior we can get connected with some other people, right? So that is how social media you can say works, right? Means example, like your hobby can be singing. Okay, some other guy hobby can also be singing. So you both have common, you can say common characteristics, so by that you can connect with each other. Okay, so that is how this social media can like previous case, like predict the friendships. Another thing is a friend of friend can be a friend, like you are, A is friend with B and B is friend with C. So there can be chances that A will be friend with C in the future. So these are the two way that by which we can predict the friendship. Okay, so this is the thing, and how a network works and all this thing we will be discussing in the coming weeks, definitely, because this is the first week. So it is just introduction. You might have gone through the weeks. It is only introduction as of now, but as we go deep, we will discuss all this data sets, all these things, how this social media works in detail. Okay, so this is the thing. So what is the next task? The next task is contagion in networks. Okay, so what is contagion? The spread of information, behavior, trends, disease, and opinion. So there's a question: is obesity contagious? Is happiness contagious? So we will answer all those questions in the coming weeks. Key insight: influences spreads probabilistically. Network structure strongly affects the spread. Okay, so these are the two things that you have to understand. This is very common. Network structure strongly affects the spread, and influence spreads probabilistically. Okay, so with it spread with a probability. Okay, so these are the two things that you need to keep in mind as of now. And next is importance of acquaintances or weak ties. You have two things. One is are close friends, and the others are the person you might know. Okay, so the person you might know is known as this acquaintance. Okay, people are joining. Yeah. So importance of acquaintance or weak ties. So strength of weak ties connect different social groups. Like I have told you in cluster, okay? In cluster, people might have similar type of hobbies and means similar type of location, etc. But they are not connected with in between cluster. So to connect in between cluster, this strength of weak ties is very important. Means the with weak ties only you can connect with different clusters. Okay, because strong ties means you are within the cluster. Weak ties means we can connect between the cluster. For example, you might be friends with only your close ones, or the people who will who you go with school, etc., etc. But you want to be friend with another person who is from different school, but you somehow know him. Okay, you are not friends, but you somehow know him. So your cluster can connect with that guy cluster with this weak ties. So this is strength of weak ties. Introduce new information, enable rapid diffusion. Okay, so by this only the bridge between the two different cluster can be accessed. Okay, so why weak ties matter? Faster information spread. Okay, better job opportunity, that is very important, because this acquaintances is what matters when you are searching job, not your close friends, but person you may know and which who are not your friends. Okay, and more efficient search, cross community influence. Strong ties, it create redundancy, it reinforce on existing belief. Whenever you are within the cluster, it creates redundancy, means same information will flow again and again, which is not so useful. And reinforce existing belief. Okay, existing, it will reinforce the existing belief, means you will not get the new information. Okay, so these are some of the importance of acquaintances or weak ties. And at last we have this marketing on social media, that is influence the maximization. Okay, so problem: given limited budget, choose a small set of user seats to maximize the spread. Okay, so when you have to maximize spread, what you have to do is you have to first choose a small set of users known as seats. Okay, and then by this you can maximize the spread. Okay, if you have limited budget. If you have a very much big budget, then you can choose everyone, but you can choose or you can influence everyone. But if you do not have this big budget, given a limited budget, what you can do, you can choose a small set of users and give them a good content, and they will only maximize the spread. Okay, so this is the problem. And then key concept: influencer networks, important metrics. This is betweenness centrality. We will discuss community structure, engagement rate, etc. Key strategy: bridges beats the popularity. Again, this bridging is very important. Whenever you are talking about two distinct cluster, this bridging is very important. So okay, people are joining. Okay, so this is the final remarks. If you understand social network, you understand how ideas spread, people connect, and influence works. Okay, so this is regarding the week one summary. So what we discuss first, what is a social network, what is this node in social network, what are the edges in social network, known as vertices, edges also known as links. Okay, then there are two type of network, one can be connected network, one can be disconnected network. Okay, connected network means each node is connected with every other node, not directly but by an indirect means. So that is connected network. That means information can go from one node to any other node. That is connected network. Second is this disconnected network. Disconnected network means usually formation of two cluster which are not linked with each other. So information from one node of one cluster will not reach information to other node of other cluster. So that is disconnected network. In graph theory, we have this another thing known as undirected or directed graph. Undirected graph means like friendship, etc. That means two-way. That means information can go from forward as well as backward direction. That means any direction information can go. That is undirected graph. And the one is directed graph. Directed graph means information will only go in one direction. Okay, so that is directed graph. And then what are the challenges? Usually you have large number of nodes and large number of connections, so you will have all this problem like this too many connection, scale and complexity will give manual analysis impossible. Too many connection, information will be overloaded, then you have structural bias, and last, that is dynamic nature. Like every day or every second, you can say, the nodes as well as links are changing. So there is a dynamic nature of this social network. Then this is the table regarding social networks. Different type of different platform of social network, you can just read out. Okay, this is for your information. Then what can be done in a social network, ranking and importance, that is this page rank. That means we have to understand in a network which node is the most important. So that is the first problem or challenge. Second, searching in a network. If we have this huge network, how we can search information or as well as nodes. So that is the second challenge. Third challenge is link prediction. That means in the future which link will connect to which other link. That is the third challenge. Fourth challenge is the contagion in network. That means we have to understand like how the spread can be of information or behavior or trends can occur. Okay, so that is contagion in network. And then we have this importance of acquaintances or weak ties. So whenever you are searching job, etc., acquaintances are more important than your close ones. So this is the strength of acquaintances or weak ties. Acquaintances means not close friends but person you might know. So that is acquaintances. So importance of those. And last, marketing on social media, how you can influence the maximize the influence. Okay, so this is the remark. If you understand social network, you understand how ideas spread, people connect, and influences works. Okay, so this is regarding the theory part. Yeah, so any questions? Yeah, Tanya, any question?
Yeah, sir. My question is basically how does the centrality in between the bridges work?
Centrality between other, everything will be discussed as we go move from just today is just an introduction, so just focus more on the introduction part. Okay, so that will be good. In each week we will discuss everything in detail, like data set and etc etc, right? How the nodes are connected, how we can connect, etc. But as of now, you just understand what is social network, what can be done with social network, what are the challenges associated with the social network. Okay, so this is regarding the today's week. Okay, and in coming weeks, whatever be the weeks, we will discuss accordingly. Okay, any other questions? Yeah, yeah, Austin, is there any way I can have a chance of I have to read it. chance of attending the exam in a same center since I have two exam on the same day. Yes, everything will be communicated during your exams. Okay, so that will not be a problem. You have to just open your portal, and in the discussion form you have to post your queries, and they will guide you. Okay, so as of now, no need to worry about exam from now on. Okay, so it will be managed. Okay, accept student, what is bias, any other queries? No. Yeah. Okay, so this is regarding the theory part. You might have gone through the all the weeks, but still, what I believe is many of you might not have gone through the weeks. So this is all that is covered in the first week. Okay, this what I have told. That is all that is covered in the first week. Okay, and now we will be going to the assignment type of question. Not exactly your assignment, because your assignment is graded, but I will discuss question that are similar to your assignment, so that whenever you will be solving your assignment, you will not feel like it's completely new or you cannot do it. Okay, so I will discuss few question that are similar to your assignment. So question will be social network concept, challenges in social network, what can be done with the social networks. Okay, so this is the thing. So this is the case one, who really spread the fire. Okay, a wildfire broke out in a national forest. The government launched an investigation into how the news about the fire spread faster than the official warnings. They analyzed the sharing behavior on a regional social network. Okay, regional social network among the forest rangers, volunteers, local journalists, and citizens. The network was modeled as graph, where nodes represent individual, edges represents communication. Example: phone messages, post, etc. The official expected the news to spread most from the central hubs. Okay, central hubs. That means within the cluster, the local radio and forest offices. Okay, that is the central hub. But the initial virus spread came from the peripheral nodes, who had many weak ties to different communities. Okay, so this is the case one. So theory that are required, that I have given you for case one, information spread in social network. First you have to understand social network as graphs. Okay, so a social network is modeled as a graph. Okay, nodes, it represents individual, edges, it represents communication or interaction. This calls, messages, post, etc. Edges can be directed, weighted, and typed. Okay, so directed one way, weighted means the information means a node, if a node is connected to two nodes but it is weighted, that means information will go to one node with certain weight like zero point 0.6 or something, and information will go to the other node with some other weight like 0.4. Okay, so that means the information will not go to both the nodes in the same way. Okay, so these are the main things. Type, let just not discuss type here. This enables quantitative analysis of information flow, not just observation. Okay, quantitative analysis of information flow. Okay, so this is regarding the first concept that you should know, that you all know. Social network graph, graph means nodes and edges. Nodes here means individual, edges means communication or interaction. Okay, so this is the first thing. Then strength of weak ties, that I have already discussed, but again, what is the core theory? Strong ties means close friends, frequent interaction, and same community. Weak ties, acquaintances, infrequent interaction, and cross community links. Key insights: weak ties are more important for spreading news information than the strong ties. Why? Because peripheral node had many weak ties across different communities. These ties act as bridges, allowing rapid spread beyond the local cluster. Central hubs were trapped inside the redundant strong tie network. Means it will be inside the cluster only, information will be inside the cluster and it will not move to other cluster like that. Okay, so that is the strength of this weak ties. Third, community structure and clustering. Okay, so community structure and clustering, okay, just yeah, so actually people are joining again and again, so I have to go back. Okay, yeah, So community structure and clustering. So this is the thing. Concept social network naturally from the cluster or communities. Okay, high clustering means dense internal connection. Information inside the cluster is often redundant. That I have told you again and again. Implication. Strong internal ties do not guarantee widespread. Bridges between the cluster are critical. So bridges, it is very critical between the clusters. Okay, and four, centrality measures. Degree centrality, we have different type of centrality. So first we have degree centrality, counts number of connection, that is degree centrality. It measures the popularity but fails to identify the bridge nodes. Okay, then we have this closeness centrality, measures how quickly a node can reach other nodes, useful for fast dissemination, that means flow of information. Eigenvector centrality, it values connection to important nodes, biases towards core hubs, misses the peripheral spreaders. Okay, so it values connection to important nodes, it biases towards the core hub. Okay, core hub, that is the central hubs. Okay, and between the centrality, it measures how often a node lies on the shortest path, identify bridges between the communities. Okay, so key, what you need to know, what is this strength of weak ties, then this thing, that is bridges between the cluster are very critical, and then you have this different type of centrality that you have to understand. Okay, and yeah, social network, you all know what are nodes and what are edges, etc. in this. Okay, and then there is this sparse network with long bridges. So sparse means small networks. Okay, sparse network, even sparse network can have this short paths. A few long range links can dramatically reduce the distances. That means again your cluster is small, but there are long range links between the two clusters, so it will reduce the distances, or it will connect the nodes. Okay, key idea, long bridges enable rapid cross cluster diffusion. Cross cluster means within cluster, and cross cluster means two different clusters. So if you have long bridges, so it can connect the two distant or sparse the clusters. Okay, so this is the thing. And then you have this network structure versus a dynamic structure. So structure, who is connected to whom. Okay, dynamics, how often and how fast, how reliable they communicate, that is dynamics. So these things are important. Structure, who is connected to whom. Dynamics, how often or how fast and how reliable they communicate. Okay, why this matter? Structural analysis finds bridges, frequency and tie strength determine the speed and reliability. Okay, and then we have this practical network intervention strategies. So theory, effective intervention is in information spread should target the bridges, not the hubs. Okay, so practical network intervention strategies means what we should do. So we should target the bridges, not the hubs. Okay, and then leverage the weak ties, that means strengthen the weak ties, combine structural plus behavioral data. That means structural is okay, but again we have to combine the behavioral data, that means what is happening or what is the characteristics of each node, that is important. Not just structure, means not just where the node is located, but what it is doing exactly. So that is important. Application seed warning through peripheral connectors. Okay, strengthen community with high betweenness node, do not rely on the official. Okay, so let's forget. Why hub based introduction often fails? So common misconception, information spread from most central or the powerful nodes, so that is the misconception. Okay, correct network inside hubs often sit in dense redundant clusters. Peripheral connectors spread the information farther and faster. Okay, so this is the thing. So this is the key thing that you have to understand. Information spread fastest through weak ties and bridges nodes, not necessarily the most popular or central actors. Okay, so this is the thing, that means information spreads fastest through the weak ties, not the strong ties. So that is why acquaintances are important rather than close friends, and bridge nodes not necessarily through the most popular or central actors. Okay, so this you have to understand to basically understand the case one. Okay, so let's solve some of the question of the case one. Okay, okay, people are joining. Will you send this PPT? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything I will share, I will tell you where exactly you can find it, and also I will share the links. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so which property of the peripheral nodes likely contributed to rapid spread? So any guesses for this? Which property of the peripheral nodes likely contributed to rapid spread? Any guesses? Option A, high degree within their own group. Option B, strong ties within the small cluster, weak ties across different cluster, low betweenness centrality. C, A, weak ties, D, C. Yeah. So, which is the correct answer? Correct answer is C. Okay. So, why C? Weak ties across different clusters is important. That is what we have discussed, right? That is the second point we have discussed. That strengthen the weakest ties. That we should always concentrate. Okay. So, this is the main thing. Weak ties across different cluster, that is very important. Peripheral nodes often connect otherwise disconnected community. That means peripheral nodes are only will connect the cluster. That means if this is a cluster and if this is a cluster, and there will be peripheral nodes. Okay, there will be many nodes inside a cluster, so I'm just making some. So there will be some peripheral nodes that are not inside the cluster, but somewhere in the somewhere you can see in the proximity of this cluster. Okay, so these nodes will only connect the cluster. Okay, so that is why weak ties are very important for this weak ties property of this peripheral nodes is very important. Okay, so weak ties across different cluster, that is very important. So peripheral nodes often connect otherwise disconnected community through the weak ties. This weak ties act as bridge. Okay, allowing information like wildfire news to jump rapidly across the social boundaries. Strong ties usually circulate redundant information. That means information it will be redundant, and means people might have heard the same information again and again. Okay, so these are not that important within the same group, while weak ties introduce novelty as well as speed. Okay, so option C is the correct answer. Okay, so this is the first question. Okay, so this is the first question. So let's move on to the second question. What characteristics of the network made it suitable for analyzing information speed? So any guesses for this? What characteristics of the network made it suitable for analyzing information spread? Option A, modeled using directed graph. Option B, edges represents real communication events. Option C, nodes change over time. Option D, network captures tie, strength and type. Any guesses for this? Yeah, B and A. B, edges represents real communication event. Yeah, this is right, because edge will always represent real communication event modeled using directed graph. Yeah, it can be modeled using directed graph, but it can also be modeled using undirected graph also, right? Because it is not necessary that it should be modeled with directed graph only, right? The information can be both ways. Okay, no problem. So that is the thing. Network capture, tie, strength and type, that this is right. Okay, so option B as well as option D is actually right. So edges represent real communication event that you have seen. Network capture, tie, strength and type. Okay, real communication links, that is call, messages and post, not abstract relationship, so that will be done by the edges or links. Okay, tie, strength and type, since weak versus strong ties affect speed and reach of diffusion. Diffusion means you can say exchange of information only in this social network. Directed graphs or time varying nodes can help, but they are not strictly necessary here. Okay, so time varying nodes, it can help that nodes will change over time, but it is not necessary in this question, because it is a, you can say, a timely event. Wildfire spread means it will be within a few hour or within few days. Okay, so the time factor is not necessary. Can you just tell me why not a model using directed graph? Yeah, you can model using directed graph, but it is not necessary, right? Characteristics of made is suitable for analyzing information spread, so it can be, it cannot be. Okay, so that is according to me. Modeled using directed graph, it can be or it cannot be, right? Because information can flow in both direction. That is not here mandatory. It is not mandatory that it should be directed graph. Okay, so option B as well as option D is your correct answer. Okay, so this is the second question. Let's move on to the question number third. Why did the official initial assumption news spread from hubs fail? Central nodes has no social media. Strong ties inhibit new information. C. Peripheral nodes had more information. Central node avoided communication. Okay. So any guesses for this? Yes, see, peripheral nodes had more information, not more information. More information can be central nodes, but it always helps to bridge the gap between two clusters. Okay, so that is the thing. So actually, the strong ties inhibit the new information. That is true, because I have told you that whenever you have this strong ties, you can see we have to, yeah, strong ties. You have kept that point. Target bridges, combined structural, yeah, short pass. Strong ties, yeah, strong ties, yeah. Do not get into where is the strong ties? Weak ties, weak portion, pass. Yeah, I think leverage weakness, target bridges. I think I have told some whereas. So, usually what happens is whenever you have this strong ties, it actually inhibit the new information. It always believe on the existing information. Okay, so that is one of the important thing about the strong ties. So wherever there is new information, we always prefer this peripheral nodes. Okay, so central hubs often communicate with tight redundant network. Information circulates repeatedly but does not escape the cluster quickly. Okay, so that is the thing. Peripheral nodes with weak ties introduce the information to new communities. Okay, enabling faster viral spread than the centralized broadcasting. Okay, so that is the thing. So again, I am telling it. Whenever you have this centralized cluster, that means they always believe in the existing ideas, and they will have challenges in broadcasting new ideas. Okay, so that is the thing. So that is why strong ties inhibit the new information. So that is the thing. Okay, so option B is the correct answer over here. Okay, peripheral nodes had more information. Peripheral nodes does not have more information, but peripheral nodes with weak tie introduce the information to new communities. Okay, they will be acting as more links. Okay, that they will be acting as fast exhibitors. Okay, so that is the thing regarding the peripheral nodes. They might not have more information, but what they will do, they will connect or bridge between the two central hubs or two clusters. Okay, so that is why strong ties inhibits the new information. That option B is the correct answer over here. Which measures could help identify the key spreaders? Closeness centrality, eigenvector centrality, degree centrality, only, or betweenness centrality. Okay, so it is betweenness centrality and the closeness centrality. Okay, so I have given you the answer. I have not told you to guess because I want to show you what is this. Betweenness centrality identifies nodes that act as a bridge between the groups, critical for cross community spread. Okay, that is the betweenness centrality. And what is closeness centrality? It captures how quickly a node can reach other nodes. So these are the two centralities that is very important and that you should always remember. Okay, so these are the two centrality that will help identify the key spreaders. Okay, so again very important, that is the closeness centrality and the betweenness centrality. So A as well as D is the correct answer. Okay, for the question number 4. So again, closeness centrality within the cluster, that means within the cluster. Okay, betweenness centrality, that means between the clusters. Okay, so these are the centralities that is important to help identify the key spreaders. Closeness centrality means within the cluster. It captures how quickly a node can reach other nodes. That means within the cluster we are talking about. Betweenness centrality, it identifies nodes that can act as bridges between the groups. It is critical for this cross community spread. Okay, so these are the two types of centrality that you should always remember, and it identify the key spreaders. Okay, so option A as well as option D. Now question number 5. If the network is sparse but has a few long bridges, what does this imply? Faster diffusion through hubs, delayed spread due to cluster boundaries, high modularity, or opportunity for rapid cross cluster spread. Yeah, option D is the right answer. So there's an opportunity for cross cluster, rapid cross cluster spread. Okay, sparse network, slow diffusion within clusters because the cluster are small. Okay, sparse means small. Okay, but long bridges, weak ties allow information to leave across distant parts of the network. The structure is ideal for sudden, unexpected viral spread. Okay, so option D is the correct answer. Now let's move to the last question of this case. How could the government improve its warning system using the network inside? Option A, send alerts only to cluster heads, use peripheral weak ties nodes to seed warning, improve communication with high betweenness nodes, track frequency or of communication in just instead of just structure. So, what do you think? D, B, D, B, D, B. Track frequency of communication instead of just a structure. Yeah, can be, but is it? Use peripheral weak tie nodes to seed warning, and this is very important. So, option B should be right. And improve the communication with the high betweenness nodes. So, option B as well as C is important. Okay, because I have told you this betweenness node is very important. That means it will be serve as a node between the two clusters or the nodes usually on the peripheral nodes. Okay, people are joining. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, what are the correct answer? Use peripheral weak tie nodes to seed warnings. Improve the communication with high betweenness nodes. Okay. So, seed alerts to weak tie individual span whose span communities prioritize high betweenness node to ensure messages cross cluster boundaries quickly. This leads to faster, broader dissemination during the emergencies. Okay. So option B as well as option C is the correct answer. Okay. So this is regarding the first case, that is case 1, that was case 1, that was this. Okay, information spread in the social network. And what are the points you have to remember? What is social network? Strength of weak ties, community structure and clustering you have to understand, centrality measures, these are the two centrality you have to understand, and very important, closeness centrality and between centrality. Sparse network with long bridges, that you have to understand. Network structure versus this network dynamic, that you have to understand. Structure means who is connected to whom, and dynamics means time. Okay, so how often, how fast and how reliable they communicate. Okay, so that is network structure plus versus network dynamics. And then practical network intervention, so we have to target bridge, leverage the weak ties and combine structural as well as behavioral data. And at last this thing, that why hub based introduction or fails. Okay, so this you have to understand this case. Okay, so let's move on to the next case. Yeah, so this is the next case, that is case 2, the rank of knowledge. Okay, an online educational platform features thousands of courses. Okay, online educational platform that features thousands of courses, each linking to related or prerequisite courses. The team builds a recommendation system based on page rank style algorithm. Every course is a node and each link direct edges. Okay, so this is a direct graph, represents a recommendation from one course to the another. They notice that some high quality niche courses are well low ranked, while some overly linked low quality courses were highly ranked. Okay, so this is the case. Now let's see what are the theories that we should know for this case, that is ranking in network or page rank. So ranking in directed network, that we have to understand. Okay, so many real system like web pages, courses or citations form the directed graphs. Okay, so nodes, that is entities or courses in our example, directed edges recommendation or references. So ranking is about importance, not just quantity or the quality. Okay, so this motivates the use of page rank rather than simple count. So again, simple counts won't matter, but what is the page rank? That is, ranking is about importance, not just the quantity, not just quantity or quality. Okay, so but the importance. Okay, so that is page rank. Second thing, page rank. What is the core idea? Fundamental principle. A node is important if it is linked to by other important nodes. Okay, so that is the fundamental principle of this page rank. Okay, a node is uh, important if it is linked to or by other important nodes. Okay, so that is important, not just count, but it is linked by which node. Either it is linked to which node, and is that node important or not. Okay, that is importance. That is important for us to determine if the node is important. For example, if node 1 is attached to node 2 and node 3, but this node 2 and node 3 are important or not, that we have to understand, not just it is linked with how many nodes. Okay, so that is the thing, or the core idea behind your page rank. Okay, so any questions? I think someone raised the hands. Any questions? Okay, no problem. Okay, so page rank models a random surfer who follows outgoing links with probability d, means it will follow the outgoing links with probability d and teleports to a random node with probability of 1 minus d. Okay, so this is again maths and all we will discuss when we will discuss this page rank in detail, but as of now this is the core idea you should understand. While low quality nodes can rank high, page rank measures the structural property, not the content quality. A low quality courses can rank high. It receives many incoming links, especially from a high ranked nodes. Okay, so that is the concept of this page rank, right? That it is receiving how many incoming links, and is the incoming link that is received by that node is from a important node or not. Okay, so that is the thing. So that is why a low quality course can rank high. It receives many incoming links, and especially from a high ranked nodes. Okay, so that is why we have to understand this. And fourth, we have this biases: popularity bias, rich gets richer, penalization or of new or niche nodes. Okay, so this is the some of the limitations or the limitation or challenges that this page rank suffers from. This leads to over linked low quality content ranked high, high quality niche content being under ranked. Okay, so these are some challenges of this page rank. And then this is this damping factor and random teleportation. So damping factor, it prevents rankings cycle dominating the ranking. So everything we will discuss in the upcoming classes, but as of now just understand the theory. Dangling nodes with no outgoing links,
Better.
that means if the node is not connected with other links. Okay, so definition: nodes with no outgoing edges are called dangling nodes. A
Hello.
classic Hello, is anyone asking any questions? Okay. So nodes with no outgoing edges are called dangling nodes. Classic page treatment: their rank is redistributed uniformly across the nodes. Okay, so this is again a concept of this page rank. Again, just read the theory as of now. Whenever we will be discussing all this, we can discuss in detail. Personalization and fairness in ranking: improve fairness. Page rank can be adjusted. So page rank can be adjusted to incorporate all this. Like page rank can be adjusted by personalization vector, user interest, context, etc. Weighted edges, that means not or not we will not count only the number of edges from an important link from an important node, but how much weight it is giving to the receiving node, so that we will count. And quality signals, that means rating, completion, etc. This transform page rank from global popularity ranking to context aware recommendation. That is important. And then we have this indicator of biases. Popular but poorly rated items dominate. New high quality items are suppressed. Unlinked or weakly linked notes appear highly ranked. So what page rank does not measure? It does not measure the content quality, video length, recency, that means whether it is new or not, and pedagogical value. So page rank is purely topographical. Topographical means it is based on only on structure, unless this modified. These are the modification. If we will not modify this, it will be purely topological. Okay, so page rank measures structural authority through link endorsement, not intrinsic quality, and must be augmented to ensure fairness and relevance. This is the final note. So again, with this, let's solve few questions for this case. What cause a low quality course to be ranked high in page rank? It has many incoming links from high rank courses. It has high out degree. It is recently added. It has longest video lectures. So any guesses for this? This I have just discussed. Yeah, A, right? Yeah, A, right? Any other guesses? Yeah, A is right. So, yeah, A is right. So, it has many incoming links from high ranked courses. That is true. So, explanation, this is the explanation. Page rank measures the link based authority, not the intrinsic quality. Okay. If a low quality course is frequently recommended by already high ranked courses, it inherits their importance even if its content quality is poor. PageRank does not consider video length or this recency or any other measures. Okay, so high out degree does not increase the page rank. Recency and lecture length are irrelevant. Okay, to page rank. Okay, so option A is the correct answer over here. So it is very direct, which it has many incoming links from a high ranked course. So this causes a low quality course to be ranked high in the page rank. Okay, this is straightforward. And question number 8: which factors could help to adjust the page rank algorithm to improve fairness? Penalize nodes with too many incoming links, use personalization vector for user preferences, include courses rating and completions, apply damping factor to avoid cycles. So any guesses? Option B and option C also, right? B as well as C, that we have discussed. Use personalization vector for user preferences, that is true, and include course rating and completion. Okay, so personalization vector bias, the random walk towards a course relevant to a learner's interest or background. Okay, so it will remove this bias towards a course relevant to learner's interest or background. And then rating and completion rates inject quality signals between the topology. Okay, so penalizing node with many incoming link breaks the logic of authority. That is false. The damping factor already exists and prevent rank traps, not unfairness. Okay, so applying the damping factor avoid the rank traps and cyclic dominance, improve structural fairness in page rank, though additional relevance and quality signals are needed for true content fairness. So option B as well as option C is the correct answer. So if a course has no outbound links, how it is treated in a classic page rank? This we also have discussed. So it's ignored. No, its rank is distributed uniformly across the graph. This is true. It becomes a sink and absorbs rank. Its rank is set to 0. So option B is the correct answer, right? Its rank is distributed uniformly across the graph. So explanation, such nodes are called dangling nodes. Okay, so in classic page rank, their rank is redistributed evenly to all the nodes to preserve total rank mass and prevent the sinks. Okay, so all others are false. So option B is the correct answer. Let's move on to the question number 10. Which of the following indicate a biased ranking system? Popular but poorly rated courses at the top. Recently added quality content rank last. Many courses with equal page rank values. Unlinked courses getting high rank. So option A as well as option B is the correct answer, right? Option A. Option B is also correct, right? Recently added quality content, rank last. This is also a bias, okay? This is also an error, right? So popular but poorly rated courses at the top, that is true. And second is recently added quality content, rank last. That is also true. So these are the two biases. So these patterns indicate link based popularity bias. That means topography, okay? Based on only topography and no you can say no context aware information. So over linked but low quality courses dominate. New or niche high quality courses lack incoming links and are undervalued. Okay, so option A as well as option B is the correct answer, right? Yeah. So let's move on to the question number 11. What does the damping factor in the page rank model? Probability of teleporting to a node, likelihood of increasing the edge weights, quality of content of node, number of outgoing links from a node, right? Yeah. So option A is the correct answer. Again, no theory has been explained to you yet, but question has been given. So just as of now, you can just memorize this or just see this. So probability. What does this damping factor indicate? It indicate the probability of teleporting to any node. We will discuss all this in detail in the coming classes, but as of now, as the question is there, so you have to just understand it. So damping factor represents the probability that a user randomly jumps or you can teleport to any node instead of following a link. Okay, so that is a damping factor, typically set around 0.85, prevents rank sync and cycles, models realistic user behavior. Okay, so these are the theory, so you have to just memorize this. Okay, so what does damping factor in a page rank model? It gives you probability of teleporting to any node. Okay, so this is what you have to memorize it as of now. And let's move on to this question number 12. To improve niche course visibility, the platform could add links from top courses to niche ones, give every node the same initial rank, modify page rank using relevance scores, and increase random jump probability to niche areas. So, any guesses for this? A, yeah, A is correct. Yeah, so actually A as well as C is correct. A is correct, right? Adding links from the top courses to niche ones, that is very right. And also modify page rank using relevance scores. So adding links from authoritative course transfer page rank to niche but high quality content. Relevance aware or weighted page rank incorporates subject similarity ratings or completion rates to promote quality over popularity. So this is the thing, that is context aware. Okay, subject similarity rating completion rates to promote quality over popularity. Okay, so that is modify page rank using this relevance scores that we have discussed. Okay, so option B as well as option option A as well as option C is your correct answer. That is add links from top courses to niche ones and modify page rank using this relevance scores. Okay, so option A as well as this option C is your correct answer. Okay, so this is regarding the case number 2. So let's move on to the next case, that is case number 3, that is search in the city. A new rideshare app wants to match drivers to riders using social contact network instead of GPS. Every user can only communicate with their direct contacts. The app tests local search algorithm to route ride request. In simulations, requests from some users took 2 to 3 hops to reach a driver, while other took 12 plus hops or failed. They noticed that average path lengths depended heavily on the network topology. Okay, so for this, what is the theory you should understand? A social network as a graph for routing. Okay, so that you have to understand a social network can be modeled as a graph. Nodes, it will represent the users. Edges, it represents social contacts or communication ability. Okay, so such is decentralized. Each node knows only its neighbor. So that is again a common feature of the social network. So each node is or the search is decentralized, means each node only knows its neighbors. Okay, so edges represent social contacts or communication ability. Okay, so this point you have to understand. Edges represents the social context or the communication ability. So this rules out global shortest path algorithm and motivates towards a local search. Okay, so this is the first point. Second point, local or decentralized search problem. So definition, this is the definition. Local search refers to routing or finding a target when nodes have no global knowledge. Decisions are made using local information only. Okay, so that is why it is known as local or decentralized search problem. So this problem mirrors this milligram small world experiment. Yeah, all this is until now no need to understand. Peer to peer routing, social message forwarding. So let's just forget this. So network topologies and search efficiencies. Regular grid, there are different type of network. One is regular grid, that is high structure, long path lengths, no shortcut, poor local search performance. Okay, so this definitely we will not use. Random network, short paths on average, lack meaningful local structure. So this is one of the difficulty in this. Greedy search often fails. Small world network, this is the most important and we generally use small world networks. High clustering, few long range links, short average path lengths, and best for the local search. So this is the most popular that we use. Fully connected graph, trivial search, unrealistic and real system, because so many links and all this nodes. So again, it is not connected. Fully connected graph is also not connected, not possible or not realistic. The number 4 point, small world phenomena. A small number of long range links dramatically reduce the path lengths. Okay, and these are again some of the things. 6 degrees of separation, efficient decentralized routing. We will discuss about all this in the coming classes. Then Lindbergh's small world model. This is a small world model. So core result, greedy local search is efficient only if long range link follow a specific distance distribution, node use metadata. It is geography, profession, etc. So this metadata is very important whenever we are talking about small world problem. Though this is sparse and we are using long range links between the two sparse cluster, but this metadata is important. Okay, then greedy routing, forward to the neighbors closest to the target in some metric space. Okay, so this is the thing. Role of metadata in search. Metadata provides a direction, location, activity patterns, interest. Okay, without metadata search becomes random, path lengths increase, failures probability rises. Okay, so this is the role of metadata search. Degree distribution and short paths, high degree variation, presence of hubs, short average distances, faster reachability. Okay, community structure and modularity, network from communities, dense internal links, sparse cross. Okay, someone is joining. Yeah, so yeah, community structure and modularity, networks from communities, dense internal links, sparse cross community links. Impact on search phase when bridges are missing, high modularity causes local trapping. Okay, so improving search success in practice, effective strategies, add random or long range link, learn from historical successful path, use clustering to limit search space while preserving bridges. So common misconception that you should avoid: more links are always improve search. That is wrong. Random forwarding is efficient. That is wrong. Hubs alone guarantee success. Wrong. And in uniform degree ensures reachability. That is also wrong. Okay, so efficient decentralized search emerges in small world network when local decisions are guided by meaningful metadata and long range bridges. Okay, so this is the thing regarding this search. Okay, search in network. So in social network, which topology supports efficient local search? Random network, regular grid, small world network, or fully connected graph? So this you all know, right? Just discuss. Which should be? It should be option A, B, C, or D. C, right? Yes, it is C. Small world network. Yeah, nice. Small world network. So small world network combines high clustering, local neighborhood, short average path lengths due to few long range links. Okay. So this structure enables decentralized local routing to succeed using only neighbor information. Okay. So this is the thing. So option C is the correct answer. Question number 14. What feature reduces average search length in networks? High clustering, long range shortcuts, low average degree, nodes with high degree variation. Yeah, B, long range shortcuts. Any other guesses? D is also right. Okay, nodes with high degree variation. So, long range shortcut, drastically reduce the distance between far nodes. High degree variation creates hubs that act as accelerator for routing. So, this you have to just remember that nodes with high degree variation, that will also help to reduce average search path length in network. Okay, how it help? High degree variation creates hub that acts as an accelerator for routing. Okay, so option B as well as option D is the correct answer. So let's move on to the next question. Why do regular grids perform poorly for local search? Too many links, lack of randomness, the clusters are not isolated, degrees are too high. So any guesses for this? Lack of randomness. Okay, so lack of randomness. Why? Regular grids have no long range connection, predictable uniform structure. Okay, such must move step by step across the grid, leading to long path and frequent failures. Okay, so that is why it has lack of randomness. So that is why usually your regular grids fail, okay, or perform poorly for this local search. Okay, so option B is the correct answer. Now question 16. Which heuristics can improve the local search? Greedy search using geographic distance, forwarding to neighbor with most connection, random forwarding to neighbor closer to target in the metadata. Which heuristic can improve local search? Okay. Greedy search using geographic distances, forwarding to neighbor with most connection, random forwarding to neighbor closer to target in metadata. Option A as well as option B, I think. Yeah. So greedy search using geographic distance. Okay, so that is true. Forwarding to neighbor closer to target metadata. Okay, so local search succeed when nodes use this meaningful metadata, location, profession, activity to choose the next hop intelligently. Okay, so that is how local search succeed. Okay, again I am repeating, local search succeed when nodes use meaningful metadata. Okay, location, profession, activity to choose the next hop intelligently. So that is why greedy search using the geographic distance. Okay, and forwarding to neighbor closer to target in the metadata. So option A as well as this option B is the correct answer. Let's move to question number 17. What does failure of search in some cases suggest about the network? Okay, nodes are disconnected, too many strong ties, high modularity with few bridges, and degree distribution is uniform. So yeah, high modularity with few bridges. Yeah, so what happens is search fails when communities are tightly knit internally. Okay, few weak ties connect them, so in those cases search usually fails. So without bridge, local routing cannot cross the community boundaries, so that is why this failure happens. Okay, so option C is your correct answer. Okay, regarding the question number 17. Question number 18. What strategies could the app use to improve the matching success? Okay, someone is joining. Yeah. So, yeah. So, what strategies could the app use to improve matching success? Add random links between distant users, use known frequent paths from the history, remove users with low activity, cluster users, and allow intra cluster hops. So, any guesses for this? I think many, it is not a single option. I think A is correct. Add random links between distant user. This definitely is correct. Use known frequent path from history. Yeah, that is also correct because it is linked to behavioral thing. Cluster users and allow inter-cluster hops. Okay, cluster users, inter-cluster hops. This is correct. Remove users with low activity. If you remove users with low activity, then what will happen is it will affect the local search. Okay, so option this, yeah, option A, B as well as D is the correct answer. Okay, so this is the thing. So let me open this. Yeah, so this is the thing. Add random links between distant users. This is important. Random links create small word shortcuts. Use known frequent path from history, historical path. It guides the future searches. And cluster users and allow intra-cluster hops. Clustering reduces such space while maintaining the locality. Okay, so option A, option B as well as option D is the correct answer for this question. Okay, so this is the thing regarding your question number 18. So we completed 3 cases. Okay, now we have left with other 2 cases. So this is the case for can we predict a friendship. That means predict relation in a social network, right? So a social network wants to suggest a new connections. Okay, they build link prediction engine that consider features like common neighbors, profile similarity, and tridia closer. They run experiment. Alice Bob have 5 mutual friends and similar interests. Charlie and Dana have 2 mutual friends but have very different interests. The algorithm predict high connection for Alice Bob, but low connection for Charlie and Dana. Okay, so this is the thing regarding your link prediction. Okay, so what we need to know, what is link prediction? Link prediction task of estimating the likelihood that a new edge will form between two currently unconnected nodes in a network. Okay, so that is known as link prediction. So it is used in friendship suggestion like in Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. Collaboration prediction, recommendation system, and core assumption. Okay, core assumption, network structure, and user similarity reveal future connections. Okay, so this is the core assumption regarding for this. Homophily, that is a very important principle in social network. People tend to connect with others who are similar to them. Okay, so this is the most important concept of this social network. Okay, similarity can be based on interest, location, age, behavior, hobby, anything. Okay, so that is homophily principle. And next principle is tridia closer. That means A is friend with B, A is friends with C. So there are chances that B and C are more likely to become friends. Okay, so this leads to this dense triangles and high clustering. Okay, so this is tridia closer. Structural links, yeah, there are some similarity. Common neighbors is one, count of shared friends, that is one, and other similarities are there. I am not discussing all this because we can discuss whenever the things will come. Interaction based features, yeah, messages like comments, etc. So this you can just know the theory. Okay, so fifth, false positive in link prediction, that is important. Again, an important point that you must understand. Key idea, structural proximity is not equal to social intent. Okay, so structural proximity means even if a node is within the same cluster, they might not have the same social intent. Okay, so we can have a false positive. That means we can say our network or our prediction model can tell us that this as these 2 person are closely living with each other, so they might have structural proximity and they will form a link in the future, but this cannot be right because they have a very different social intent. Okay, so false positive occur when users share neighbors but no interaction. Okay, users are different social contexts, work versus family, similar structure but dissimilar behavior. So this is important, similar structure but dissimilar behavior. So this is the thing. Then preferential attachment, what it is versus why it's not used here. Okay, theory notes with high degree attract more links. So yeah, that is just a general statement. Why it's not dominant in this case, works well for celebrities, poor for predicting personal friendship, does not consider similarity. Okay, so this is the thing. So this will work in case of celebrities, etc., where a single known celebrity everyone is following. For that we can say that it works well, but it is poor for predicting this personal friendships. Okay, so this is the thing. Clustering coefficient measures how likely a node's neighbor are also connected. Okay, interpretation, high clustering, strong triadic closure, important, improves link prediction and the accuracy. Okay. Temporal and behavioral features, again important, why time matter, recent interaction matter more than old ones, co-evolving interest strengthen prediction. Okay, so example, message frequency, recent likes, comments, etc. So this is another thing. Machine learning for prediction, we have this modern approach that combines structural feature, profile similarity, temporal behavior using all this machine learning model, logistic regression, graph neural network, random forest, etc. Okay, so these are some machine learning models that we will use to predict the link. Okay. Then what students must avoid assuming, so what we should avoid assuming, many common neighbors always mean friendship, that is false. Structural similarity is sufficient, that is again false. Clustering guarantees connection, again false. And degree centrality predicts the personal links, that is also false. That can be true for some celebrities, etc., but it is not true for this personal friendships. Okay, so link prediction succeeds when structural proximity, similarity and interaction pattern align, and fails when social context is ignored. Okay, so this is the concluding line for this case. Okay, so let's move on to the question, which principle is the algorithm likely using? Link locality, homophily and triadic closure, preferential attachment and degree centrality. So it is very easy, right? We just have discussed what are the, yeah, B, right? Homophily and this triadic closure. Okay, homophily, people with similar interest tends to connect. Triadic closure, if two people share many friends, they are more likely to become friends. Okay, so Alice Bob fit both principle, while Charles and Dana do not. Explaining the prediction differences. Okay, so this is the thing. So correct answer is option B, that is homophily and triadic closure. Next question, what features commonly improve link prediction? Number of mutual friends, Jaccard similarity, network diameter, common interactions. So this is also important. So any guesses for this? ABD, right? Yeah, A is right. Number of mutual friends, that is very right. That this can be case, but not necessary. This Jaccard similarity, yeah, and common interaction. Okay, so number of mutual friends, Jaccard similarity, and common interaction. So mutual friends capture this triadic closure. Jaccard similarity, normalize overlap by the total neighbor, and interaction history reflects a real social proximity. Okay, so these are the three things by which we can improve the link prediction. Okay, so again I am repeating, number of your mutual friend important but not sufficient. Jaccard similarity, it normalize overlap by the total neighbors, and interaction history reflects real social proximity. Okay, so this A, B as well as A, B as well as D is the correct answer. Okay, network diameter is a global property not useful for this pairwise prediction. Okay, so option A, B as well as D is the correct answer. Question number 21, if two users have many common neighbors but don't connect, what might be the reason? Algorithm missed triadic closure, lack of profile similarity or activity, network diameter is too high, too many clusters. Yeah, lack of profile similarity or activity, that is very true. So structural proximity alone is not enough, right? Without shared interest, communication or temporal overlap, a link may never form even with many mutual friends. Okay, so option B is the correct answer over here. So this is again very straightforward and a good question. Okay, so which scenarios likely indicate false positives in prediction? This also we have discussed. Many shared neighbors but no shared activity. Same hometown, never interacted. Friends from different cliques. Two people liking each other's post regularly. So any guesses for this? Yeah, many shared neighbors, that is right, but no shared activity, that is right. Same hometown, never interact. Yeah, same cluster, that means they are not interacting. So option A as well as option B is the correct answer. Okay, so this cases show structural similarity without behavioral evidence. That is important. Okay, which often leads to incorrect predictions. Okay, so this is known as false positive. That means your model will predict it's a positive relationship or the link will happen in future, but it will not happen because there is no behavioral evidence. Okay, so option A as well as option B is the correct answer. Okay, now let's move on to the next thing. What does high clustering coefficient suggest? Then tries good for link prediction, sparsely connected components, nodes with high betweenness degree is evenly distributed. Okay, so any guesses for this? What does high clustering coefficient suggest? Dense stride, good for good for prediction. Yeah, dense stride. High clustering means your cluster will be dense, right? So high clustering means many close triangles. That means all those triadic closures, strong potential for triadic closure, high likelihood that missing links will form. Okay, high likelihood that missing links will form. Yeah, so it does not imply high betweenness or uniform degree. So option A is the correct answer for this. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. What else can improve prediction accuracy? Using temporal pattern of interaction, including profile text similarity, ignoring mutual friends, using machine learning on node features. So this is right? Using temporal patterns of interaction, that is right. Including profile text similarity, that is also right. Ignoring mutual friends won't be right? Because we want mutual friend, but it is not sufficient condition, but definitely it is one of a necessary condition. Using machine learning on nodes feature, yeah, you can use machine learning, for example, all this algorithm, random forest etc algorithm, and we can improve the prediction accuracy. Yeah, option A, B as well as D is the correct answer. So using temporal pattern of interaction, so it will give us this time aware behavior, including profile text similarity. By this semantic similarity we can do this. And using machine learning on node feature, yeah, learning based models that uses few structure plus attributes, that means behavior etc. Okay, so option A, option B as well as option D is the correct answer for this. Option C is correct, incorrect, because we cannot ignore the mutual friends. We have to first see the mutual friends and then we have to go with the behavior things. Okay, behavior or temporal patterns. Okay, so this is the complete thing regarding your link prediction. Okay, so we are left with the last case of this evening, that is case 5, marketing campaign on Instagram. A startup launches a new line of sustainable fashion targeting the Gen Z. They hired 30 Instagram micro influencer, each with 5k to 10k followers. The startup models their influencer network as a graph where each node is an influencer and edges represent significant follower overlap. They use the independent cascade model to simulate how quickly awareness spread. In this model, an activated influenced node get one chance to influence each of its neighbor with probability p equals to 0.3. Once attempted, it cannot try again. Campaign budget only allows them to select 3 influencer initially as seed nodes. Okay, they are evaluating 3 set A influencers with a highest degree, set B influencer with high betweenness, set C randomly chosen influencers. They run 1000 simulation and find the average spread. Set A activates 3000 nodes, set B activates 4500 nodes, set C activates 1200 nodes or 1200 nodes. So set B is most successful over here, right? So let's see what theory that we required for this. Social media as a network, yeah, nodes, influencers, edges, uh, significant followers, overlap, share, audience. The graph capture who can influence whom, not just follower counts. So why this matter? Two influencers with many followers may reach the same audience, limiting the spread. Okay. Second thing, information diffusion in network. Diffusion concepts, information spread like contagion, awareness, opinions, trends, purchases. Marketing success depends on who starts the spread, not just how many people they reach. Okay. Independent cascade model, this is the core idea of this independent cascade model, again a theory that we will discuss in detail in the coming weeks. Each activated nodes get a chance to influence each neighbor. Okay, influence success succeeds with probability p. Failed attempts are never retried. Process unfolds in discrete rounds. So this is the thing. Seed node selection, influence maximization, key question. Which small set of nodes maximize the total spread? This is known as influence maximization problem. Centrality measures, this we have this true centrality, degree centrality, and this betweenness centrality. Degree centrality, number of direct connection, good for local reach, weak at crossing the community. Betweenness centrality we have discussed this earlier also, but let's discuss for this. Measures how often a node lies on the shortest part. Identify bridges between the community. So these are the two centralities I am again telling that it is very important. So just keep a look on this true centrality. And community structure and clustering, social networks form tight net cluster, friends, interests, demographics. High clustering causes redundant exposure, limited marginal gain if seeds overlap. Okay, so audience overlap, redundancy, key insight. High degree influencer may share the same followers. Waste influence attempts on already activated users. These are the things. Okay. Engagement versus structure, that is important. So behavioral factor, engagement rate affects actual influence probability, structural position affects the potential reach. Okay. Best seed selection combines network position, engagement, quality. Strategy design for this viral marketing, diversity of seeds greater than popularity of seeds. Avoiding redundancy, targeting bridges using network insight, not institutions. So in diffusion driven marketing, who connects community matters more than who has the most followers. So this is the concluding line. Okay, so let's just move to the question. Which of the following best explains why set B outperforms set A in reach? Okay, so we have seen that set B, this is the set B activates 4500 nodes, set A activates only 3000 nodes. Set B, it influences with high betweenness, that is within the cluster. Set A influences with highest degree, that is within the cluster. Okay, so this is the thing. So what is the betweenness centrality? Captures influencer who bridge communities. High degree nodes are always less active. Random selection is statistically better. The cascade model favors random walks. So this is again very straightforward. I hope you know betweenness centrality captures the influencer who bridges the community. Okay, so option A is the correct answer. Okay, so this is the option A is the correct answer. Betweenness centrality, it captures influencer who bridge the communities. Okay, so this is the thing. High betweenness influencers sit on the path between the communities. When seeded, they allow the cascade to jump across the cluster, dramatically increasing the reach. High degree nodes often influence many within the same cluster, leading to this redundant exposure. So option A is the correct answer. Question number 26. What factor should the startup consider when choosing seed nodes to maximize reach? Community bridging potential, total number of followers, follower engagement rate, position in the network structure. So definitely this is not correct, right? Total number of followers we don't want. Community bridging potential, that is true. Follow engagement rate, yeah, true. Position in the network structure, this is also true, yeah, this is also true. So community bridging potential, this is definitely true. Follow engagement rate and position in the network structure. So community bridging rate, bridging potential ensures cross community spread, that is why this is important. Engagement rate, it reflects real influence probability. Network position, it determines the reach efficiency. So option A, option C, as well as option D is correct. Definitely this is wrong. Okay, this you should always remember, that whenever we are talking about this diffusion in the social media, that total number of followers don't count that much, rather than community bridging potential. follower engagement rate, and this position in the network structure, that is important. Position in the network structure, this is important because it determines the reach efficiency, that is why it is important. Okay, so A, C as well as D is the correct answer. In the independent cascade model, what happens if a node fails to influence a neighbor? It retired in the next round and neighbor is permanently immune. So yeah, this I have given you the answer. It can try again if another neighbor influences it. The chance of influence increases the next time. Okay, so what is the answer? It can try again if another neighbor influences it. So again, independent cascade model, as of now you can just skip it, but we will discuss in the later part. Okay, so which of the following are the limitation of using only degree centrality to select influences? So this again is the important question. So it ignores the clustering, doesn't account for overlapping audience, assume uniform influence probability, always target nodes on the periphery. Which of the following are limitation using only degree centrality to select influencers? So what are the limitation? It ignores the clustering, that is true. It does not account for overlapping audiences, that is also true. Assume uniform influence probability, always target nodes on the periphery. So option A is correct and option B is also correct, I think. Option C, yeah, option C is also correct. D is definitely always target nodes on the periphery. This is wrong, right? Because periphery, it will not, because it is only degree centrality, not betweenness centrality, so it will not target nodes on the periphery. So this is definitely false. But what about assumes uniform influence probability? It is true. So let's see, ignore clustering, that is true. Doesn't account for overlapping audience, that is also true. Assume uniform influence probability. Okay, why this is true? Degree centrality counts links, not where they lead. Okay, right? Overlook audience redundancy, treats all edges as equally influential. So this you have to keep in mind that it assumes the uniform influence probability. Okay, degree centrality. Okay, because we are talking about in the cluster and degree centrality, so it assumes uniform influence probability. Okay, so it treats all the edge as equally influential. This you have to keep in mind. This too you already know. It ignores clustering because we are talking about degree centrality, doesn't account for overlapping audience. This is also true, but this you have to keep in mind. Assume uniform probability, this is definitely false, that you know. So this question would be easier if it has been told which of the following are not limitation. Okay, because this is definitely a limitation. Okay, so and this is definitely not a limitation, so option D is definitely wrong. So option A and B is correct, but option C is also correct, that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so question number 28, option A, B as well as option C is the correct answer. Suppose an influencer with low degree but high betweenness is selected. Their value lies in posting at fixed time, creating echo chambers, connecting otherwise distant groups, and having more followers than others. Suppose an influencer low degree but high betweenness. High betweenness means connecting otherwise distant groups. So option C is the correct answer. This is straightforward. Yeah, connecting otherwise distant groups. Such influencers act as bridges. Okay, enabling diffusion between the communities that would otherwise remain disconnected. So option C is the correct answer. So let's move on to the question number 30. The startup notices influencer from tight knit cluster to maximize diffusion. They should choose influencer from one denser cluster, pick seed node from different cluster, maximize follower overlap among seeds, avoid seeding in isolated nodes. So this pick seed nodes from different cluster, that should be the correct answer. Yeah, pick seed nodes from different clusters. So seeding across cluster minimize the redundant exposure, maximize coverage, encourages this multi community cascade. So option B is the correct answer for this. So this is how we have ended our this 5 cases. So what are the 5 cases that we have gone through? Case number 5 was this influence and diffusion in social networks. What is the case number 4? Case number 4 was link prediction, that I remember. Yeah, link prediction in social networks. What is the case number 3? Case number 3 was this Yeah, this search in social networks, this is the case number 3. Case number 2 was ranking, that is page rank and all. And we have this case number 1, that was I think yeah, information spread in the social network. So these are the 5 cases that we have discussed. So we have discussed 30 question. The slide I will provide you, and you can just go through what has been written. It is mostly, the social network is definitely a theoretical subject mostly. There will be a few numericals only. So this is how we have to discuss. We have to discuss in broad rather than depth. Okay, so that is how we will do it in coming classes. So this is regarding the week 1 questions, or week 1 assignment, not assignment question, but questions similar to your assignments. Okay, so this is regarding the week 1. So this is how I'm let me just okay, let me just enter screen. Yeah, so this folder I will share. Okay, this folder, NPTEL social network, let me share with you only. So share, give you the access to this. Yeah, so this I am sharing, so you can just see the slide. Okay, and also I have shared this because this is important, because I want to show you some of the codes that has been discussed, or that similar codes has been discussed to you. So this code I have made, one is Python and social network intro, and second, that this is real world road network, directed and undirected graphs. So just I want to show you people who are interested in coding. Now coding, you need not to learn from the scratch. You have this generative AI, so it can just help you do all these things, but you should know some basic syntax and all. So this is regarding this. I have given you introduction to Python and programming. So these are some interactive Python plus data types. So you can just see how we can print a data, integer values, arithmetic operations. This is float. This is how you write a string. Okay, this is a boolean means true or false result. Okay, so this is a boolean case. You can check the type with this type checking. Complex arithmetic operation, these are the, okay, let me hide this. These are the complex arithmetic operations that you can see. These are the integers, and we can just print the results. Okay, these are the arithmetic operation in the bracket, and we can just print the results like this. List, this is known as list. It will have many elements. A list will be written like this in a in this type of bracket with the many entries. Okay, or many elements. These entries are nothing but it is called as elements. Okay, so if I want to have the first element, or Alice, how I can call it? Student 0. That means this is the index of the list. 0 means it will give me Alice. Okay, length of the student, that means how many elements are there in the list, so that I can print by this length of students. So that it is given 4. And I can also append means entering something in the already existing list, that I can also do this. So when I have append the Eva in the list, I have Alice, Bob, Charlie and David already, but now I am appending Eva. So my list will become this 4 plus Eva. Okay, so this is the another thing. This is another command important in list. Now there are some random module. You can just say random.random. It will give you between 0 and 1 random, and it will give you give you whatever you will write 1 to 10. I have written the two arguments 1 and 10, so it will give me integers between 1 and 10. Okay, random uniform, it will give a floating point number between this two argument that I have given 1 and 5. That is why it will give me between 1 and 5. Okay, create a list of numbers. This is the list of numbers, and random choice numbers. So it in this list it will randomly choose the number between 1, as this 1 2 3 4 5 is my list, so it will randomly choose the number. Print random samples, you can just see. You can see this add random numbers, etc. Function is there, how we will write the function in Python. This is important, just go through it, this will help you. Dictionary is also important. Dictionary is nothing but list, we just write the entries, okay. Entries or elements, but in dictionary we have two things. One is the key pair and key value pair, okay. So this Alice is known as key, and this 20 is the value of it, okay. As we are using this variable age, so Alice is nothing but the key, and 20 is nothing but its value. Bob is the key, and 22 is its value, okay. So you can again check this. Then simple social network using dictionary, you can just see how I have made this social network using dictionary. Visualizing simple network, like by this is network X. So network X or network analysis, this is the library that we used in Python for this analysis. On all these loops are there, for loop, while loop, etc. If loop, etc. You can just check out, okay. And another thing I have given you, so let me just show you. Okay, I was disconnected for some reason, so let me again log in. Yeah, so I was showing this second thing, that is this real world road network, directed and undirected graph. Okay, so this again you can follow what is directed, what is undirected graph, how we are doing this, all this command, etc. How we can visualize this. So again, just go through it. There is no time for coding and all, but just go through it and it will be very interesting. Also, this I have given you. So whenever you will open this in your computer, there will be something written copy to drive. Just do the copy to drive, copy the code to your drive, and you can just change this code and play with the code and see how this code works, okay. So this also I have given for your convenience. So this are the slide that I have given you, and this I have you. So by this end the session for today, okay. So we will meet on the next Tuesday. Please share the link again, okay. Sure, let me share the link again. Yeah, I have shared the link again, so you can just check. Does in exam the code will come? No, the code will not come in exam, but as it is a CS course, so I hope you have some experience with the code. It will be very interesting, okay. So just I am just giving you the code, you can just copy to your drive, and you can open it in Google. No need to install any libraries, etc. I am giving you the Google Colab code. Okay, Google Colab is a platform in Google where you can run the code without installing any libraries, etc. Okay, library you have to install within the code, but you don't need to install it locally and all. Okay, so just by a line of code you can do whatever you want, okay. So that is why I will request all of you to please just copy the codes to your drive and play with the code. It will be very interesting, okay. Does it, so please share the link again. Any other messages? No, okay. Any other questions? Yeah, Tanya, any questions?
Sir,
Yeah,
we have a Excel sheet in our week one.
yeah,
So
yeah,
do we have
yeah.
to paste any links there?
Yeah. What video I have just means what the class discussion I am doing. So that video I am actually recording. This recording I will put in a YouTube link and YouTube channel, and that link I will share it, okay. So in case you miss anything in the class or anytime you miss anything, so you can just watch the video again. Okay, so that is the thing. And there is a shared folder, so that folder link I will again give that in that Excel sheet. Okay.